I'd like to thank Cliff Sims from the transition team for joining us today. Give me an idea, what can we expect to see on Saturday?
Well, you can see a massive crowd, first of all, is what you can expect. If you think back to the last time we were down there in Mobile, it was the largest rally of the Republican primary, or the primary period. And so we're really looking to come back. So that's number one. Number two, you can expect to see the president-elect there. You can expect to see Jeff Sessions, Kellyanne Conway, and a special announcement that I wanted to tell you guys about is Franklin Graham will also be joining us down there as well. So we're going to have just an incredible time. From talking to the folks there on the ground, it sounds like the city is really going all out, which being an Alabama boy myself, I would expect nothing less from Mayor Sandy Stimpson and the crew down there. They always do such a great job. So I think it's just going to be an incredible event. I would encourage folks to go to donaldjtrump.com, go to the schedule section of the site, and make sure to RSVP for the event. We've already gotten tens of thousands of RSVPs, so you want to make sure to do that.
All right, you talked about Senator Jeff Sessions, who it appears will be the next U.S. Attorney General. Of course, the Democrats are going to be loaded for bear during his confirmation hearings. Do you think he's prepared for them?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, here's a guy who was U.S. Attorney, was Alabama Attorney General, and has been serving in the United States Senate for the last 20 years. And I think some of what you're hearing is what you would expect from kind of the partisan politics of Washington, D.C. But at the end of the day, Senator Sessions has served with these guys there in Washington for the last 2 decades. They've gotten to know him. They know him, as we do in Alabama, as a man of character and integrity, and a guy who is going to provide equal justice under the law for all Americans in that post as Attorney General. So I would expect Senator Sessions to get confirmed. And I just tell you, again, as an Alabamian, I'm just so proud of Senator Sessions, and so proud that the top law enforcement officer in the country is going to be, number one of our guys, but number two, a guy that is just as rock solid as Jeff Sessions is. So I think a lot of folks in Mobile have a lot to be proud of with Senator Sessions.
Okay, it wasn't that long ago we had the Reagan Revolution. Do you see a Trump revolution coming up, and how will that be different?
Well, I think you can just look at the electoral map and see states like Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and North Carolina and all these different states that have gone Democratic in recent election cycles and have suddenly swung over and now going Republican. And I think what it is working class folks out there, people who have been disaffected with the political process and haven't even really been engaged in recent election cycles, finally saw a guy at the top of the ticket that was speaking their language, that was talking directly to them, who was talking about putting America first. And I think that really resonated with people out there. And so, whether or not this is going to be a wholesale restructuring of the electoral map, moving forward for decades to come, that kind of remains to be seen. But I do think that you got a lot of folks out there who are really optimistic for the first time in a long time that someone is going to come into office and finally put their interest first. And if we continue to do that, which the president-elect will, I think that, it is a little bit of a revolution, I guess you could say.
We saw Ronald Reagan speak usually directly to the American people. Do you see the president-elect continuing that sort of tradition?
I think so, and I think it's going to be through different mediums, right? So you're still going to have his ability to go out there and sell his message directly to the American people, through television, interviews, and those types of things like you always do, but also by using new media, using Twitter, using Facebook. We've already seen him in the last couple of weeks, before he's even taken office, fighting on behalf of the American people for things like Boeing saying we want to build a $4 billion new Air Force One, or the F-35 program that has been plagued by cost overruns and those kind of things, and the president-elect coming out on Twitter and saying, look, we're not going to stand for this anymore. We're going to fight on behalf of the American people. And so I think, yes, he's going to take his message directly to the American people, and it's going to be through different mediums, traditional media, as well as some of these new media opportunities that we have.
All right, Cliff Sims, look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bob.